Hi, it's Anne. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are going to be making some of our own foam stamps that we can make interesting inked images with. And I'm really excited to try this. I've been fascinated by a YouTuber named Hazy. Her name's Hazel, but she goes by Hazy and Hazy Crazy Arts. I will link her. She does the most interesting DIY stamps out of corrugated cardboard and craft foam, just this really narrow little foam that is used for a lot of kids' crafts. I think it's used for costumes. I bought a pack of like 5 sheets or something at the thrift store years ago. I don't even know what has happened to the others. I think I used it for some die cutting when I wanted to add some dimension to some card making elements at some point. Anyway, however many I had years ago, there is 1 sheet left. I am going to spend it on this project because Hazy has assured me that I can do this, and I should. She calls it a game changer. And she really, she does words, she does animals, she does all kinds of things. She does a lot of things that are very simple and whimsical. She does things that are more intricate. She just plays with it. So that's what we're going to do today. Generally, when I do a project with you, I have practiced. I have done a prototype. I have figured out what I'm supposed to be doing. I haven't figured that out this time. I'm just going to follow Hazy's instructions, maybe do a little bit of experimenting, and let's just figure out together what we want to do. So I thought the first, I think I'm just going to start really simple with this and kind of show you Hazy's process. She cuts a base out of corrugated cardboard. So this is just a flap off of an Amazon box, and I want this one to be fairly small. So I'm just going to cut this off, and I can't believe I'm actually trying this. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and I have just the 1 piece of foam. I was like, oh, do I really want to spend that? What am I hoarding it for? There's no reason to hoard it. I just want to go ahead and learn this technique. Let me start with something really simple. Hazy tends to draw things and then cut them out, but I'm going to start with something that I can just cut. I'm just going to make a little set of squares or near squares. I might as well go the length here. Very easy to cut with regular scissors. And I'm just gonna kind of make a stamp and see how that's gonna work. This is making me think I know Kerry Griffiths does some professionally produced foam stamps. He has one called Tumbling Blocks. I'm gonna use this longer one actually. And maybe I'm gonna cut myself another piece. I made that a little bit too short. That's okay. There is plenty of corrugated cardboard where that came from. I have a little cutting mat on top of my craft mat. I'm being all precious about not wanting to damage my my new cutting mat, even though it's made to be used. I need to use it. Okay, here. There we go. Let me just glue those down. Hazy uses glue sticks, so I'm going to use that and see how that works in my home environment here. The humidity, the heat of your area can make a difference with how well glue adheres, but we're just going to see how that works. I'm going to make them kind of look like they're tumbling a little bit, not to co-opt Carrie the Crafter's design, but there we go. And let's just put 5 of these down, and I'm envisioning this as being a little bit of goobers there. I'm envisioning this as being just something that can be an embellishment along the side of a page. Okay. Shall I try this? Why don't I pull out a scrap of paper? A little offcut for something. Will this, yeah, that should fit all the way. Now I'm kind of hampered because I can't really see what's happening on the other side, but let's just go for it. And then I want to try a couple of more designs. I want to try a leaf, and I want to try something kind of swirly. Yeah, Hazy does all these interesting mark making and doodling things that are they're just fun and joyful. And my ink isn't on there very evenly, but I am fine with that, because this, again, is not meant to be a precision exercise. That's a little dark, but that's the ink I chose. Now let me see, there's a little bit, yeah, there's a little bit of spread there. But again, this is a junk journal. If that was, you know, if we were doing this like on the side of a, let's say this was on the side of a tag or something like that, and we put something else, that could work. That could work, and it provides an interesting visual element that we wouldn't have had the means to create otherwise. I'm liking it so far. I'm going to set this aside. Well, let's put it over here. Maybe you can see that. And let's try, I was thinking it might be fun to do like a fall leaf. So I'm getting out these dies just because I have all my fall leaf dies together, and I thought maybe I could trace this a little bit because I don't have confidence that I could draw the shape well enough. And I don't want to trace it per se, but I can at least do an outline. Why don't I do this one? I like that. I like that shape, and I'm just gonna draw around here. Well, losing my ink there. I know you probably can't see with my big hands in the way here. There we go. You know what? I think I am gonna mark these little lines in the middle. I may or may not do something with them. Now we're just gonna fussy cut this. Honestly, this foam is not expensive, so if I'm using my last piece, it's not like I'm using my last, you know, bit of something really expensive that I can't possibly ever get again. It's not like using, you know, the last page of an Edith Holden book or something like that. This is easily had. I already looked some up on Amazon, but I wanted to try the technique first and see if I liked it. My instinct was to double, you know, to stack this up and make it a double thickness, because it just seemed like this little, you know, 1/8 of an inch or less, maybe it's even a 1/16 of an inch thickness of this foam, that it might, it just might be too thin. But, you know, that really simple thing worked. If I end up using this technique a lot, I'm definitely going to keep this as my very first one that I did in honor of Hazy. Okay, shall I cut out? I might get out my X-Acto knife and maybe I'll cut this little bit out. Would Hazy want me to do that? She might. I know she does some intricate words and such that she draws onto craft foam. Yeah, I don't know that I am doing a very good job with this, but I've started now, so let's go ahead and do this. Have you ever tried this technique before? Do you make your own stamps? Do you feel like a kid making stamps out of potatoes? Did you ever used to do that? That's always a fun kids' art activity, even though it does waste the food. But occasionally, if you have a spare potato, it can be sacrificed for the cause, I guess. Yeah, where did I can't even remember why I got this. I'm sure it was because it was cheap at the crafts or at the thrift store. So, you know, you go by shelves of things sometimes and think, oh, I could use that. I might be making a real hash out of this. But I'm almost there. Beautiful September afternoon today. I think I still have some gold. I've been spray painting pine cones gold. Can you imagine that? That's what I've been doing with my afternoon. I'm the social and volunteer group that I'm involved with here. We're having our annual member meeting next month, and I'm co-chair of the organization, so I've been involved in everything from, you know, the food to the decorations, and I have a very creative woman that I'm working with who's given me lots of decorations, and by decorations I mean centerpieces. There'll probably be about 100 people there sitting around these round tables and getting the update on the organization and our plans for the year ahead. And anyway, for these centerpieces, our plan is to make painted mason jars. Tell me if you've ever done that. I never have, but the other woman, Lori, a friend of mine, she's the one that gives me those vintage business documents that I'm going to be continuing to use. I've got a couple of videos coming up using more of Lori's documents. Anyway, Lori is experienced at this kind of craft with painted mason jars, and we're just going to make little simple centerpieces. But I wanted to, because it's sort of a fall theme, I thought, oh, there's all these pine cones around the Douglas fir outside. I'm going to go pick up some of those, and I will spray paint them gold. And they're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. They are more gorgeous than this poor little foam leaf that I seem to be taking forever to do. There we go. Okay, I got myself into a bit of a more complicated situation than I intended. But let me just clean that up a little bit. And did I get all of... There we go. Now, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and get this glued onto its little cardboard base. All right. Craft knife ever at the ready. And All right. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I've been watching Hazy do this for so long, and I just decided I just needed to do it today. Let me, I think I want, yeah, I think I want this side to pick up the ink. So if I was really kind of fascinated when I saw Hazy making these and just using glue stick. She might have used something a little bit heavier duty than I am, but we'll see. The easy thing is if I find that if I end up using this little decorative stamp or anything else over time, and I find that it's sliding or it's coming off, I can always level up and go to my art glitter glue or my 3-in-1 glue. But all right, let's use this leaf. Should we do it? I'm only using stuff I have on my desk. I have this piece of book page that is where's all my trash? I moved stuff around cleaning my desk earlier. I just put a little bit of distress ink on the side of this, and let's do it. Should we do this? I am wondering how they're going to clean too, but I'm just going to use brown for this one. And trying not to bend it too much. And my fingers are invariably going to get inky, and I'm going to be okay with that. Now there's ink that, gets picked up here, where I pushed it down a little bit too much. And that I picked it up there too. Again, this is an imprecise practice. This is junk journal world. So we're going to embrace those imprecisions as part of the aesthetic. Okay, moment of truth. It looks kind of like a cave. It looks like a caveman print, doesn't it? I don't, I wonder if I can change. I'm okay with this part. I almost want to, I think it looks almost Halloween-y. I think I'm going to come in and try to make that stem a little slimmer. There we go. Let's do another one up there. This is all experimental. Let's put one up here. And then I'm going to try a second gen. Okay, that's better. It looks better with the stem cut down. And I'm going to see what Gen 2 does. Yeah. I don't know that the jury is kind of out on how I feel about this. However, I think if I were to make it a page in a journal, let's just make it into a page and see how it strikes us. Again, this is something that I have sitting around on my desk. I'm just going to make this into a journal page. Probably getting out of sight there. Sorry about that. I think with a little more practice, I could make that work. It looks really, it looks crude to me, not crude in, with it being vulgar or anything like that. It just looks a little bit too much like, cave painting. but I could be doing it a disservice judging it in that way. Measure to make certain I'm not getting it so big that it won't be usable to me. I want to make certain. No, that's still usable. A reasonable width. There we go. I think, come in here a little bit. There we go. Yeah, this could stitch into a journal, and that could really be okay. Let me straighten this up a little bit. This is just something I took out of a book without regard for getting it out in a straight manner. Okay, sorry for that momentary household distraction. I'm thinking that I am kind of okay with this. I sound reluctant. I'm not reluctant about the process at all. I'm reluctant about, my skill. But again, that's one reason I wanted to do this without having done it before, is I wanted to show the learning process. Let's try another one. I, for some reason, wanted to do something with kind of swirls, and because this process is something that, there's a bit of exuberance, I think, in it. It's simple, it's organic, and for those reasons alone, I think it is whimsical. And so I'm thinking about some sort of mark making that I can do on journal pages. Excuse me, that has just something kind of swirly. So let's, maybe I will try it on a piece of scratch paper first. Let me pull that out of the bin. What if I wanted to do, well, it'd be better on something plain, wouldn't it? Paper all over my desk. I can't find anything that I want to waste. It's not wasting to develop new ideas. I'm thinking I'd like to do just sort of a coil like that. And then maybe if I cut around the coil, I'd end up with something like this. It'd look like a worm or something. I don't know. However, I aim to try. Let's try it with a pencil here for no reason other than in my mind I'll be able to erase it if I don't like it. I don't know if this erases or not. There we go. Instead of drawing on either side, I'm gonna come around like this. It's going to look like a snake. I hope not to make anyone nervous if a snake is an issue for you. Yeah, I don't know that I love that. How about if I do a little swirl like this? That definitely looks like a worm. You know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. My daughter, who's a wonderful ceramic artist, you hear me talk about that from time to time. She's been developing a line of mugs and planters and other things that have whimsical worms drawn on them, and they're so cute. If you want to check her out on Instagram, her Instagram is called Cup and Cardamom. I can link her below too if you like, if you're into Instagram. And so her little worms that she does on her mugs and planters are just so cute. She's gonna do some for Christmas. They have like little worms with little Santa hats. Oh, so cute. There we go. This stuff cuts so easily. It cuts almost easier than paper. I hope it's not going to make my my scissors wear out. When you were growing up, did you ever have household scissors that you were forbidden to use if you were crafting? I know I did. Oh, now which one? I'm gonna have to start back here. This is pretty primitive looking. But I think you can see that it is fun and it does work. It does work, particularly for a junk journal style. Now, oh, was this? I am not certain which one I was supposed to cut out. Well, once again, yes, I have made a hash of this, or I accidentally cut something off. Well, you know what? That's fine. I'm just gonna make do with this. And maybe I'll use the other part here. Maybe I'll kind of slim that out. And we'll just, sometimes I think it works better if you turn it to the reverse. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of call that an extra swirl. And let's just see how these work. Okay, more. I don't know what I did. Oh, here it is. My little cutting mat. I'm very quickly going to get over my reluctance to cut on this because, again, these things are made to be cut on, but it's like a new car, you know, you get nervous until you get that first dent in it. Not that spending $30 on a new craft mat is the equivalent of a new car, but you know what I mean. Okay. I can already tell that I like this process, even though I have a lot more practicing that I want to do, but that's what I wanted to show you. And heaven knows I have enough of the corrugated cardboard, even though I don't have much foam, but I think I'm just going to order myself more. All right, let's do the gluing. And here's my glue. You know, Hazy was doing something on one of her videos. She has quite a long playlist with different videos about foam stamps. And I've seen a lot of them. I'm sure I have missed some. But she did something, I think if I recall correctly, that she just sort of compressed, she just like poked holes in some of her foam to create a little negative space, a little dot. I think I'm going to try that here. And what do I have to poke? I have a chopstick here that I use for stirring paint. Let's see if that works. Might need something a little bit sharper. I guess I could just use, well, no, I don't want ink in it. I'll use this, the tip of this pencil. Yeah, that gives a little negative space. Let me just kind of put it here to see if I can give an eye to our worm. Shall we do that? Just have a scrap of paper here. I'm going to try this little worm on. And maybe he'll be a purple worm. I'm going to see if I can make a few little stripes in him just with this pointy edge of this pencil. Of course, by doing it here, I've glued it down and I'm moving it on its substrate, but all right, let's try our little worm. And remember, he's facing this way on the stamp, which means he's going to be facing this way on our project. Yes, okay. With every stamp I make, I'm feeling more and more enchanted with this process. It's just funny. It's just funny and cute. And I can't believe how that eye comes out. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do our little swirly thing on this ink stain page, but I'm going to just do a bunch of dots in this one and just make this a polka dotted swirl. Again, I've retracted the lead in this. It's just the point of the writing implement that I'm using. Oh, I can't wait to show Maureen. All right, here is some bright blue and bright green, so I think I'm going to use a little navy blue here. I'm going to try inking my stamps this way. Well, there we go. Okay, let's try this. That looks cute. It looks snaky again too, doesn't it? Let me see how the second gen looks. I think if you were going to be using a part of this in a collage, I think that could be all kinds of fun. I think it could be. Let's try our last one there here. Shall we do some kind of different kind of impressions here? Maybe a little bit of zigzagginess here. And I don't know if over time, if those things pop back out again. They might. I don't know. I guess I should choose some green. All of these things are going to be cut up and just used in collage anyway, I'm quite sure. I don't think they're quite to the level that I want them at for actually using in a journal. Yes. For when we want some sort of abstract stamping going on, filling in different spaces. It's kind of jolting. If I'm doing this, I should remember to change its position a little bit. And you know what? Let's go back to our little original guy. And again, I'm not certain how well it cleans, but I'm gonna go through the motions of at least wiping off that rose color. And should we try, what else would be good there? What about a red? Well, no, I just did red with that. I want to see what it looks like with something else. Go with this sort of lighter brown. This isn't a very well inked ink pad, so maybe it'll just be kind of light and in the background there. Yeah, I kind of like that as a background though. Let's see if I can just do that one. So this bends a little bit, so you can just do a partial stamp. Okay, friends. Well, guess what? We have now tried Hazy's wonderful DIY foam stamps. And am I going to be doing more of these? You can bet I will. So you will see them again. I'm anxious to try some words. I think I might work off camera to make some words, because often there are words that I want to stamp into a journal and I just don't have a stamp with the word that I want. So I'm going to use what's left of my red foam, and I'm just going to keep playing with this. I hope you have fun with it too, guys. Bye-bye.